In the previous episode, we covered the part of this trip in Portugal on the Camino de Santiago and in Santiago de Compostela in Spain. In this episode, we start by catching a train to Madrid for a few days of exploring the city. After getting checked into our hotel, we had time for a quick bite to eat before we made our way to our first activity. We took a tuk-tuk tour, which gave us a great introduction to the center part of the city and areas we might like to explore later. This ancient Egyptian temple was moved from Egypt to Madrid. After the tuk-tuk tour, we continued exploring the city on foot. This lively market was full of beautiful-looking food. However, both guides we had during our time in Madrid recommended finding better food and cheaper prices elsewhere. Nevertheless, it was a fun place to explore. We were having a difficult time deciding where to get dinner. We almost chose to eat in this familiar restaurant. Thankfully, we changed our minds. After a few more minutes of walking, we came upon this alleyway full of restaurants.
Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. We are going to present a random show, Jumps Acrobatic. Guys, are you ready? DJ, play the music. Esa mueve la cadera. Uno, dos, tres, cuatro, cinco, seis, siete, ocho, nueve, diez. Increíble control de su cuerpo. Ahí va, el rey del chicharrón. ¿Cómo sube? ¿Cómo baja? ¿Qué destreza? ¿Qué habilidad? Ahí va el peruano. Eso, increíble. Este modelo, serio pero sexy. Ahora sí, Paraguay. Fulgor, Topro, Agro. Papi, dice tu bien. Un solo brazo. He's jumping, he's jumping, he's jumping, he's jumping. Ay, control puro en su brazo izquierdo. Eso, eso. Wow, wow, wow. Y sigue, pequeñín. Ahí va, ahí va.
We started our second day by getting breakfast at one of our favorite breakfast spots. We continued exploring the city on foot, and our first stop was the Botanical Gardens. Next, we visited the nearby El Retiro Park. We toured the Del Prado Museum, where we enjoyed the artwork and the air conditioning. No photography was allowed inside. For dinner, we went to this restaurant recommended by our tuk-tuk guide as a good place to get paella. To end the evening, Jen helped a city worker with a little street cleanup. Our next adventure was a day trip to the historic Roman city of Toledo, which was about an hour bus ride from Madrid. The historic central part of Toledo is up on a hill above the bus drop-off location. Inside the cathedral, there was some kind of media event occurring with the cardinal and other dignitaries. Our tour group had to leave the sacristy quickly. The cardinal and his entourage were doing some kind of photo op. Toledo has a long history of steel weapon production, which are now sold as souvenirs. When it was time to leave, we made our way back down the hill to catch our bus. The ride back to Madrid was a napping opportunity for many in our group. Once back in Madrid, we continued exploring the town on foot. For dinner, we went to another recommendation from one of our guides, a great tapas bar. We completed our time in Madrid with churros and chocolate sauce. In the morning, it was off to the train station to catch our train to Barcelona. It was a short taxi ride to our Airbnb rental. It was a nice 2-bedroom apartment in the central part of the city. Once we were settled in, we headed out for some dinner and then a little grocery shopping. We didn't have any activities booked, so it was back out to explore the city on foot. We came across this large protest related to the situation in Gaza. Despite the serious nature of the protest, most of the people involved seemed to be enjoying their evening on the town. Nevertheless, there was plenty of security nearby. We ended the evening at this cocktail bar. We enjoyed watching the bartender work his magic. He clearly took his craft seriously. We started our day with a bike tour of the city. It was a little hectic riding through Barcelona, but we were confident that our guide would lead us safely through town. After our bike tour, we explored the Basilica of Santa Maria del Mar, which included the option to climb to the rooftop. In the afternoon, we headed in a different direction to see a part of town we hadn't visited yet. We spent a little time exploring the area where the 1992 Olympics were held. This is the pool where Roseville's own Summer Sanders won her Olympic medals. Dinner was takeout pizza at a restaurant recommended by our Airbnb host. In the morning, we loaded on a bus for an all-day tour of sights in the city.
Building from him, usually you know that they are a mix of different style of architecture from all over the world. At the time of Mr. Gaudí, there was computer, and now you can check on Wikipedia.
Our tour included a chance to taste and purchase some sweets. These columns are all that's left from an ancient Roman temple. This is two of the three Jennifers in our tour group chatting it up. Our tour included entry to Sagrada Familia. This basilica, designed by Antoni Gaudí, is very interesting and unique. Construction began in 1882 and it is still under construction today. It won't be completed for a few more years. Our final stop on the tour was the whimsical Park Güell, which was also designed by Antoni Gaudí. In the evening, we visited this shopping mall, which was a converted bullfighting arena. The roof is an open-air walkway surrounded by restaurants. We ended our time in Barcelona with a nice dinner at another restaurant recommended by our Airbnb host. On our last morning in Barcelona, we had to spend some time drying clothes that had been rained on overnight while hanging on the patio. Eventually, we took a bus to the Barcelona airport. We were flying to Germany to visit my mom's family in her hometown of Schweinheim. The Barcelona airport seemed more like a shopping mall than an airport. While waiting in a restaurant during our 3.5-hour flight delay, we were entertained by a robot used to deliver food and these two drunk guys seated next to us.
I'm sorry. Enjoy your evening.
Enjoy yours too. Our first day in Schweinheim, Germany, was spent with my Aunt Magda. She took us to the cemetery to visit my uncle and her husband, Heine, who died last year. Next, she drove us to the countryside for a very nice lunch. Our hosts, Astrid and Peter, raised fish and tiny shrimp for a hobby. We enjoyed having a chance to see their numerous aquariums and get a brief lesson on the process of breeding and raising the shrimp. On the second day, we had a nice lunch with my Aunt Crystal before we spent some time wandering through nearby Aschaffenburg with family members. We were surprised to find a sign marking the beginning of a route to Santiago de Compostela. Our short time with family members in Schweinheim ended with a nice dinner and some singing.
Get video.